Okay everybody, so today I'm going to teach you how to trace something in Procreate just as some gentle reminders. So last time we set up this file right here where we had our grid lines. So what's cool about this file is as long as we have our drawing guides turned on, then it doesn't matter what photo is in here. So if you decide that you want another photo, then you just need to add a new one in there. So if I take this one out, add a new layer, I can go here, add insert a photo, and just pick a new one. So it doesn't really matter. Remember to make it so that it's big enough and you don't have to make a new file every time that you want to use this grid where you have the 10 boxes. So there you go. Today what we're really after is tracing something, so we're going to look at this and then we're just going to trace on top of it. So a couple of quick reminders about how to do that. First thing you want to do when you trace is you want to go on your layer and make a new one. I'm going to rename that trace. And since our photo is in black and white, you want to pick a color that's easy to see. Right now I already have one, and then for which brush to use, I like to go into my inking one, and I pick either Studio Pen or I like Technical Pen. Both of those work for me. It doesn't really matter. This is a little bit easier with a stylus. So when we do this, a couple of tips for you. Make sure that your brush is kind of on the smaller side. You want really thin lines, and then make sure your opacity is all the way up. When you start tracing, it doesn't really matter where you start, but I like to really get in the facial features and get really close and be a little bit more detailed about facial features. So we're going to go in here, get in our eyes, get in that tear duct, and get in that. So we still want to use all of our knowledge about anatomy and make sure that we have all of that together. There are a couple of areas that got kind of difficult, like the hair is kind of confusing for a lot of people. So with the hair, especially if they have kind of complex or curly hair, you want to really get the major shapes, get the outline of it at least. So here I am, and I'm not super worried about all the little like wispy hairs, so you see that I'm not grabbing every single one, but just kind of going over some of the major shapes and some of these outlines. Hair is pretty organic, so you can be forgiven for some of those shapes not being exact. So you can just break it up like that. There might be some areas where you see light and dark, so over here I see some really light areas. So I'll try to grab those. Those are kind of more individual strands. That, and that's how you can approach doing the hair. So really don't try to get the strands, but try to get the lighting on it, and that might make it easier for you to tell things apart. So you're going to go until you have a fully finished one. Again, when you do something like teeth, if your person has their mouth open, you don't want to individually go over all the teeth, but you want to get kind of that sense of where the gums are and the gaps. So I'm not going to do all the in-betweens because that'll probably end up too dark. But you want all those. Alright, so just keep going until you're done. Again, get really nice and close. That will help you whether or not you have a stylus. And once you're done, so here I have a finished one. You can uncheck on the picture and you have a drawing to base your paper on. So we're going to take this, and when we look at our actual paper, we're going to translate everything that we have here. So we'll look at like box number 1, oops, only has this cute little bit right here. So that's all I'll draw in box 1 aside from these other lines. So use this to help you, and then our photo will be for the actual shading part. So these lines are going to simplify what you draw and sketch very lightly onto your paper now. Okay, that's it. Thank you.